Okay, so for those of you that are new, I do these meetings on Tuesdays because I have admin work that I have to do every Tuesday and Thursday between 10 o'clock in the morning and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you guys blow me up with questions and I can't answer them. So rather than having to make you guys wait until I go through the line and answer all the DMs and the questions that I got, I figured I would just jump on here and answer you guys on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I'm not available to answer you in real time. So, with that being said, this is 100% a you guys led training. You tell me what you need and I'll answer the question. So, who wants to start? We got a lot of eager beavers in the channel. Nobody has a question? Because we can jump off and I can go back to doing my paperwork.
Hello?
All right. Yeah, what's up, Victor?
Oh, Victor, go ahead.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Someone raised their hand and then someone started talking. All right. What's up, Victor? We'll do you first since you raised your hand. Not that I care.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm basically new. I just signed up for you guys, so I'm trying to make sure everything is good on our end. I just signed up with the AI, getting the emails and so on. So more or less, like with the distribution side and everything, is there like a criteria that you guys have for your buyers so that I can kind of target those first? Or like, what advice would you give on that thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely recommend hitting up our YouTube channel. It's called Conversation to Close, and it's got our SOP video in the Deal Sniper 101 playlist. But just to give them to you right now, if you've got a pen, I can tell you that's not a problem. So the first one is you want to stick to a population of 750. I think it's 750. Other people think it's 500,000. The idea is the more the better. So let's just call it 500,000, and that's the population in the market that you're marketing. That's where it needs to be. It needs to be at about 500,000 or more. Emphasis on more.
Okay.
You want to
Section 8 buyers as well too on that as well?
Yeah, Section 8 is great. Those are always very profitable and sought after deals if you can get those under good terms. Properties that don't need a lot of work, that are pretty much turnkey. They don't have to be flipped. They don't have to be marble counters, but just something to where an investor who buys the deal doesn't have to also then put $20,000, $30,000 into it before they can get a tenant in there. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then you need to make sure, and I'll give you just a couple of these. The video's got way more, but you want to make sure that your deals are cash flowing. That's the most important thing. You want to have a really good cash on cash return. Your absolute bottom of the barrel, most least attractive, but technically movable deal would be a 10% cash on cash return.
10%. Okay.
Obviously, we would want more than that.
All right. Perfect. And I'll look at that video for anything. If I have any questions later on, I'll ask later on.
Yeah, hit me in the main chat since I don't know what your name is in Discord, and then I'll tag you in the video. I'll just shoot you a link.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably drive more revenue.
Or you know what? I remember seeing that one. Yeah, you just jumped in here.
Yep. I really did last night.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one. Okay, yeah, I'll if I forget, just remind me, but I'll shoot you the link as soon as I get off this training.
10-4, that'll work. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Will, what's up, dude?
Yeah, so I just had a question and if I should pursue this deal.
Okay.
The agent wants to talk to me, but I'm looking at the house and it looks like a beat up, not a beat up, but it's a container house.
Okay.
And the price is like kind of ridiculous for this like house, and I'm not sure if I should pursue it. It's
well, don't give me the address because it's gonna go on YouTube, and I don't want anyone to snake your deal.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: how much is it listed for?
300,000.
What city and state?
It's in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, Scottsdale isn't actually that bad, but you say it's a container house.
Yeah, container house with one bed, one bath. And
well, I'm sorry, it's one bed, one bath, and they want 300,000. Oh yeah, no. Does it need work or is it beautiful?
It looks beautiful. It's just the outside. It's a container. It looks like a rusted up container.
I mean, that might work as a niche like Airbnb, but
Mm,
I would pass.
yeah, yeah,
My gut instinct is to pass.
yeah. I was
Three hundred
thinking
thousand
too.
dollars for a basically container tiny home. Nah,
Mhm.
we're good.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. All right. That was my question.
No problem. All right, who else has got a question? Who's next? Let me ask this question. Who just started? Who just got into Deal Sniper, creative financing? Who's new? I'm not going to call you out and make you introduce yourself. I'm just curious.
I
So I
am.
can,
I will put myself out there. I'm new with everything.
I am.
Me too.
okay,
Me
so Yolanda, Jimmy, Victor, who else?
Me too.
Alright.
By the way, Neil's VA.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I remember you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me start with you guys and let me let you guys know first and foremost. I don't charge for help. I don't charge for one-on-one. Now that you guys are in the Discord, you're in the community, you don't have to pay for anything. So I want to make sure the idea that the goal as to why I do what I do is so that you guys don't need me anymore. So I don't gatekeep anything. So if you have a question, my philosophy is there's no such thing as a stupid question, especially if it's the first time you've asked me. So if you have a question, let me know what's going on. This is an open forum training, and I'll do my best to answer it. So do
Okay,
any
thank
of you guys have any questions?
Okay. I have one question, Sean. Regarding the assessment fee and Bill Snapper. So it's auto calculated, right?
Yeah, but it's just an estimate. That number, when it gives you the estimated assignment fee, that has no bearing on your deal whatsoever. It's just telling you what you could get easily, but that in no way, shape, or form determines how much you can make on a deal, up or down.
Okay. But we can always edit that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you'll notice, like you can change it to $1 million, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't change
It doesn't
anything.
affect. Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
you
And
can
also,
edit it if you want to.
and
There's no need to.
it doesn't include on the template, right? That we're
No,
sending it. Yeah.
yeah, it'll never be on the template. That's why it doesn't
Okay.
matter what you
Okay.
change it to.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Victor, what's up?
So obviously I'm fairly new to AI and so on, so I'm a little bit old school with everything. But learning in this industry with creative financing and so on, I know that the old way was like to go like to Zillow and look up rental history or Section 8 and so on. Do we still have to do that, or with Deal Sniper, it just does it automatically, or should we still verify doing rentals like a rental meter or Zillow like that?
That's a great question. So let me tell you how it works, and then I'll give you my recommendation, and then you guys can make your own decision.
No problem.
So we understood that every investor uses their own methods to figure out what a place will rent for, what the rehab is going to cost. They all have their own formulas and metrics that they follow to come up with these numbers. Some people like using Zillow Rent, some people like using Renometer, some people like using Home Ads, some people like using Privy, some people like using whatever property management company they're actively with. They ask, hey, how much can I rent this place out for? So it's all different. So the reason why I tell you that is to tell you this. Deal Sniper pulls from not all, a bunch of different places to come up with the rent. So it'll pull it from this website, this website, this website, and then average them all out. I have been told, and it's documented, I have a video somewhere, someone telling me how awesome it is. It's on my channel. But it has been told to me by a few people that Deal Sniper is very, very accurate when it comes to rent. That doesn't mean that it's always going to be accurate. It just means that Deal Sniper is only 2 months old and we haven't found an issue that may be there. So I would always suggest double checking the rent. Now, you don't necessarily have to double check the rent on every deal you send out. I don't recommend underwriting every single deal before you send it out, because the very formula for our success rate for this is you send out 20 offers a day, 100 offers a week. Out of those 100 offers, 5 real estate agents are going to respond positively. Out of those 5, you'll close 2 or 3 deals a week. That means 2 or 3 deals under contract every single week. But the other side of that, the essence of it is that 95% of the time you're going to be told no. So you don't want to take the time to underwrite 100 deals when only 5 of them are ever going to go through. So I recommend sending out as many offers as you can and then underwriting and verifying deals once the realtor responds with anything other than no. That way you're spending your time working on the deals that actually can become a deal rather than just working on all of them. That's all I suggest. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Sean.
What's up, Yolanda?
I actually closed off by accident.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I just wanted to see the numbers. I mean, I don't probably have to say the property name, but I think I sent to you yesterday or the day. Was today? Oh my gosh. Tuesday.
Today is
I think I
Tuesday.
sent it on Sunday.
Okay.
And
You
it
sent
was
me
a
some
sub
numbers on
2.
Tuesday.
Sub 2, the purchase price was 28.6.
You DM'd it to me?
I submitted it you told me to go and submit it through.
Oh, to the link?
To the link, yes. Hold on.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I can look at that really quick. You say you haven't gotten it yet.
I'm sorry?
You haven't received it yet.
No, I haven't received a reply from you yet to see
Oh.
if it looked good or anything.
That is not right. Okay, hold on. Let me take a look.
Okay.
Let me see what's going on here. And it's submitted under your name, right?
Yes.
Okay. No, Yolanda Hart. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you have the information in here. Looks like you got the PITI, you got the interest rate, you got the balance. I don't know why he didn't send this to you, but I'll tell you what, I'll have it sent to you 5 minutes after we get off this call.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. That was it.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Oh, and then just so you guys know, I'm literally working on getting you guys a subject to contract. We have an NDA that we signed with our lawyer who drafted the contract for us that we wouldn't share with anyone because it was expensive. So I'm trying to find a loophole for that. That's how I got you guys the first contract. I'm working on getting you guys the sub 2 contract. I imagine it'll be any day here now. Victor, what's up?
You already answered the first part with the subject to contract. The second answer is when a realtor agrees to our terms that we sent over email and so on. Do we have a purchase and sale agreement that we would need to fill out, or would they use their legal form of contract through their real estate attorney?
Wait, how do you mean? You mean when you're talking about when you're getting it under contract, just normal?
Yeah, when it's on the MLS and the realtor says, hey, the owner agrees and so on, we are able to use their contracts, or we have to use our specific contracts for creative financing?
You don't have to use our specific contract. You can use theirs. What a lot of people do is they'll write up their own contract, like use ours, right? Write it up the way that the video says, or if you know how to already write it up, whatever, write it up. And if the realtor's insistent on using their own contract, that's fine. Just say, hey, I'm going to email you the contract I typically use so you can see the terms and the clauses and have it added to your contract. And that's fine. Typically, they do that.
Okay, perfect. Yep. That's it. Yep.
Okay. Next question. What can I do for you?
So number you're talking to the realtor. How do we
Mhm.
slip in that we're wholesalers?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I still see new people in the chat saying, don't tell them. Yeah, I always recommend being honest and telling them. And that's if you're dealing with a real estate agent or if you're dealing with the seller directly. It makes things so much easier. And I don't like liars. So,
Yeah.
here's how I do it. I usually wait until this is going to be hard to answer because they don't usually. Well, here's the thing. Because of my personality and the way that I talk to people, I haven't been asked for proof of funds in like 2.5 years. I just don't ever get asked for one. So when you do, you want to say something like this. And this is in for anyone who, oh shit, that was awesome. I wish I had written that down. Two things. One, I'm recording this. And two, this is in the cheat sheet channel in the Discord right now. So you want to say something along the lines of wait for them to ask for the proof of funds. And you want to say, hey, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, that's fantastic. I have no problem submitting a proof of funds. Let me explain a little bit about what I do. I've got 5 or 6 buyers. Now, for sake of this situation, I'm just going to say the property is in Birmingham that I'm trying to get under contract. So let me explain to you what I do, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor. I've got about 9 exclusive buyers here in Birmingham that only deal with me. They pay me to go out and find properties like this so they can put tenants in there and cash flow. I know for a fact that if I can get this property under contract under these terms or similar, I have a little bit of wiggle room, but not a lot. I know for a fact 5 of them would want to take this down. So I want to get this under contract. I will push it to them, give them a little bit to do their due diligence, give me about 2 weeks. Once I've identified which one of them is going to move forward, I have no problem submitting their proof of funds and EMD within 48 hours. That's how you answer that question, because 1, it lets them know you're representing other buyers. 2, you're going to be assigning the contract. And 3, I need 2 weeks.
Okay, so you don't you don't say it like outright, but you
you don't, because there's packaging, right? You don't want to just flat out say, hey, I'm a wholesaler. No, you just say, look. Now there are other ways that I've seen people say, yes, I am an investor and I also work with investors. First of all, every real estate agent has heard that 1,000 times. What makes someone a really good, successful salesperson, wholesaler, whatever, you need to stand out from everybody else. I stand out because I don't give a damn. That's my superpower. You ask anyone on my team, anyone who's successful on my team, which is all of them, or else they wouldn't be on my team. My biggest gift to them is for them to teach them to stop caring. I don't give a fuck if I close a deal. I don't care. I just don't. Now don't confuse that with I don't want to close the deal. I want the deal. I absolutely want the deal. I want the deal for you guys. I want the deal for my team. I want all the deals. I just don't care, because if I don't get this one, I'll get the next one. And because I have that mentality, I don't have commission breath. I don't sound thirsty. I don't sound needy. I don't sound like I'm trying to convince them to do something. Quite the opposite. I'm usually the one trying to disqualify them. My favorite move in the world is the takeaway. Hey, you know what? I was thinking about it. You're asking for a little bit too much. There's a lot of properties in the neighborhood that we're looking at. So why don't we just go ahead and hold off on this one? We're going to go ahead and resend our offer, and just good luck to you. Well, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't say we have to cancel. We can negotiate. Now I know I've got them. And I don't mean to say that in a way that's like, yeah, I got you, bitch. I don't mean like that. I just mean it's a fight. When you're talking, when you're negotiating, it's a verbal fight. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose. I don't care if I lose, because I know that there's 100 other fights I'm about to have, and I'll win those. That's fine.
Okay.
So you want to package it right, and you also want to sound like this is just business as usual. This is like how we do it.
Right.
What do you mean you've never heard of a wholesaler? What? That's crazy. You're the weird one. That kind of thing.
Awesome.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, perfectly.
No problem.
Thank
Malia,
you.
what can I do for you?
We spoke about the email. What is most effective, or with just a straight introductory getting into the flow of making deals? Is email more effective, or is that more so just saying let your hair down and go ahead and get to it type of method?
That's a good question. So there are people in the community, and both suggestions I'm about to give they've had success. And there have been people who have tried the exact same thing and not had success. It all depends on how you do things. But there are some people who send the offer through text directly to the realtor. They'll edit it on their phone, put the realtor's name, contact information in there, and then send it through text, and then follow up with a phone call the next day. There are some people who will send the email and then immediately follow up. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, I just checked your email. I just sent you an offer on, 123 Main Street. There are some people who will just send offers all day long and never follow up with a real estate agent unless the real estate agent responds to them. So it all depends on what your style is. It depends on how much time you have. It depends on how organized you are. Me personally, I like to send an offer out. I have my Google spreadsheet that's on the video in the contracts channel. If you guys want to learn how to set that up, I have my Google Sheet set up. It's very itemized. It has the date, the address of the property, real estate agent's name, real estate agent's phone number, real estate agent's email address, link to the property. The next column has my offer. I just copy that directly from Deal Sniper, paste that into the Google Sheet. And then the final column, what's the last thing I did? Last action. I called the realtor. She didn't answer. I called the realtor. He didn't answer. I called the realtor. He did answer. He told me no. Follow up in a month if the house is still listed. That's how I do it. So I track everything on my Google Sheets. I send the offers out. I send out as many offers as I can while I'm working on that part of my day. And then if I don't get responses back in like 48 hours, then I'll make phone calls based off of my Google Sheet because it's right there. Okay, I've got to call them today. I've got to call them today. I've got to call them today. So it really depends on your style. I'll tell you like this, if you don't quit and whatever you do, you just keep doing it, you'll be successful. Just some styles are faster than others and more complementary to how people naturally want to work. Again, it all falls down on how you like to do things. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, you answered my question. I like to hear you like rant on because I had like a couple of questions, but you had already answered them talking with other people. I like your style of teaching.
It's helpful when you're crazy. People always ask me, Sean, why are you so good at talking to people? There's 6 of me. We can all find a way to get along with somebody. Who else has got a question?
Exactly.
Next question.
Hey Sean, what's a
What's up?
wraparound loan? Keep
A
hearing that. Like,
Yeah, so a wraparound loan. Okay, I'm gonna have to paint the picture. So picture there's a house with a mortgage, right? It's a $200,000 property. You offer them $20,000 down, $300 a month, right? Then come to find out they have a mortgage, and their mortgage balance is $150,000, and it's at a 5% interest rate, and their monthly payment is $1,000 a month. So a wraparound means that when I go to sell this to an investor, I'm going to wrap whatever I want the terms to be around what the terms currently are, and then sell that to the investor. So for the sake of this example, $200,000 property, $20,000 down, and then now it's got a mortgage at $1,000 a month at 5%. I'm going to sell this to an investor for $30,000 down at 6% interest rate at $1,250 a month. So now not only did I make the assignment fee of $10,000, but I'm making $250 a month also from the difference between the monthly payment for the mortgage and the monthly payment that I'm charging the buyer. Now, that works really good when it's your own property, but if you're going to wholesale that, then that extra $250 is actually going to go to the seller. It's probably going to go to the seller because
okay.
it's going to be a hybrid. If it's not a hybrid, it's just a straight sub 2, then yeah, that can go to you actually.
Oh, so you can't. All right, so you can wholesale a wraparound loan. Okay.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely. The biggest difference here, let me tell you the biggest difference between a wraparound loan and a subject to. A subject to, when the investor buys it and the deal closes, the investor is responsible for the taxes. On a wraparound, the investor is not responsible for the taxes. Here's the other difference. On a subject to, when the deal closes, the deed is in the investor's name. On a wraparound, when the subject to, when the wraparound closes, the deed is not in the investor's name.
Okay.
Those are the 2 biggest difference. Other than that, they're damn near identical.
Okay. And the dude, the realtor, he got back to me. He said, are you gonna waive the inspection or will you need to extend the inspection period? Should I just
What did you sign for the first time? What day did you sign for and for how many days?
Okay. So we signed for 10 days, and I
10
think it
business days from what
expires.
day?
I think it expires in 3 days.
Okay, but you signed it for 10 business days on what day? What day did the contract get fully signed by everybody?
Uh,
The date.
give me a second. Uh,
It's been an awesome day today.
doing the complete opposite for me.
Now it's
Uh,
all about your perspective.
I can't find it actually.
We'll check
Uh,
your email and see when the contract came back to you. That's the day that it got fully signed.
hmm. The 25th.
The 25th of March is when it got signed.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 25th of March is a Tuesday. So that day does not count. The next day is when it starts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold up. 8, 9, 10. Your inspection period doesn't end until April 8th because it's business days, not calendar
Okay.
days. So the weekends don't count. So anytime you're counting when your inspection period is, even if you count it on the day that it got signed, let's say it's before 5 o'clock, which no one ever does, but that's okay. Let's say you do. You're going to count every day, but you're only counting the Monday through Friday. You're not counting the Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Even though my team, my disposition team, works on Saturday and Sunday. So it essentially gives my team 3 weeks to find a buyer, but we're telling on paper it looks like it's only 2 weeks. So yeah, your inspection period doesn't end in 3 days; it ends in 7.
Okay. So, but like realistically, like I don't
Tell
think
them you want to
this.
extend it. Yeah, go ahead. You can tell them
Okay.
you want
But how many days? Like 5?
5 days is fine.
Okay.
5 business days should be more than enough. All right, cool. Who else has got a question? Anybody? Victor, what's up, dude?
So let's say we did get a property on contract and you find a buyer. What is the split basically? What would be your cut if that was the case?
You talk about if you use my team or if you don't use my team.
If you use your team.
If my disposition team finds a buyer for your deal, it's a 60-40 split. You get 60%, my team gets paid 40%. So if it's a $10,000 assignment fee, you get $6,000, my team makes $4,000.
Perfect. That'll work.
And then we also give you guys, if you want, some people don't want to, they just want to focus on acquisitions, which that's fine. I don't care either way. But if you are interested in learning how to disposition your deals, when you send me a deal and you want to disposition yourself, try and find a buyer on your own, I will send you the exact same marketing materials that we're using for your deal to push your deal. So if you find a buyer first, well, then there's no split. It's just yours. The only thing I would recommend, though, is that if you guys find your own buyers, use a transaction coordinator. If you need one, I've got one. If you don't want to use mine, then find your own and find a good one. They will make all the difference in the world. Yes, they charge like $1,000 out of the assignment fee, but they don't get paid unless the deal closes. And it's worth it. They will literally do everything. They will chase every piece of paper that you need. They will hunt down amendments, addendums, anything. They will do it. They'll all the stuff that title and escrow start saying in the beginning that you guys aren't going to understand because you're new. They'll take care of all that. You won't even know about those questions. So I recommend hiring a transaction coordinator if you don't already have one, if you're going to dispo your own deals. My only suggestion. All right, next question. Who's up?
Oh shoot. I guess I'll go again.
Go
I
for
got
it.
the realtor. He's so adamant on like because he wants to speak to whoever's buying the property or something like that. And like me, I don't know who's gonna.
Okay, wait a minute. You did explain to him that you're a wholesaler, right?
Yeah, he knows. He said, I'm fine with you doing that and all that. I just want to know who the buyer is. And I
Okay,
was
well,
trying to get it through his thick skull that
yeah, the buyer hasn't been identified yet. We don't know yet.
and he's so adamant. I'm like, I don't know.
Just tell him as soon as we identify which buyer is going to absolutely move forward, we will let you know.
But like that's the thing. He won't sign the contract until he, I guess, speaks or
Wait, hold on. I'm so confused. What do you mean he won't sign the contract? I thought he signed it back on the 25th.
No, oh, this is a different guy. Different guy.
Oh yeah, you gotta tell me when you switch deals,
My
dude. You
bad.
scared the hell out of me for a
My
second.
bad.
Okay, so you got a guy, you got another deal, and the realtor's saying, I'm okay with you wholesaling it, but I'm not gonna sign the contract until you find the buyer.
Until yeah.
Move
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
Like that's not the way it works. Like, dude, we're not gonna market the deal to our investors until we have it under contract because that's how we secure our financial interest in this transaction. Otherwise, we're just left out in the cold. So yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here's how you respond to him politely. I understand where you're coming from completely. That's the first thing. You want to agree with them. Make sure they know that you're on their side. Unfortunately, that's not the way that we do things here due to the fact that we need to secure our financial interest in the property. Our policy is it must be put under contract first before we market it to our buyers. Please let me know if you decide to change your please let me know if you change your mind and we can go ahead and get this done. If not, good luck to you. That's the takeaway. That's the hey, I get where you're coming from, but we can't do it like that. Here's why. You want to back out, no big deal. If you change your mind, let me know. Deuces, I'm out. That's literally what that said.
Yeah.
And then move on to another deal. That's the most important thing for new people to understand. It is so much easier to find a deal that fits the mold rather than to make a deal fit the mold. You guys do not have to hold on to every single positive response you get from a realtor like it's gold because there's 1.56 million properties listed in the United States right now. You guys are never going to run out of leads. You're just not going to.
Yeah, I get that. It was just like because he agreed on the set of terms, and it was like it was an 18% cash on cash return, no interest, and that's why I was just trying to make it work, but he just wasn't listening at all. Like,
no, I get it. I completely get it. Some people they don't, and I would put him on a 1 month follow up, and if the property's still listed in a month, hit him back up and said, "Hey, I noticed the property was still listed. Still interested in pushing it to our buyers. If you want to just go ahead and sign this contract, we can get that going. You can give me 2 weeks and we can see if we can get this moved for you." That's it. That's the email. I don't want you guys to sound like customer service. We're not customer service. I'm not telling you guys to be jerks on the phone. Don't do that. You want to be polite. You want to be professional. You want to be polished. But we're not order takers. Like we're going to do things that's been proven to be the successful way to do it. And if you guys, and not you guys, but the realtors, if the realtors don't want to do it the way that we want to do it, okay, well then just move on to another deal. There's so many more out there. You don't have to worry about that one. You don't have to worry about that one at all. Here's another reason why you guys should be following up and then keeping a database or a Google sheet of your leads. What do you do if a property doesn't get sold, but now it's not on market anymore? What do you do? It's one of your old leads. You've been checking this house out for the last 3 months. You followed up with the realtor like you were supposed to. The house never sold. The listing expired. It's not on market anymore. What do you do?
oh, you gonna call the homeowner?
You call the homeowner. Good for you. You call the homeowner. Hey, I tried to give this deal to your realtor like 3 times. I don't mean to throw them under the bus or anything like that, but here's what I'm looking to propose. Can I email this to you and we can go over it?
Has that happened to you before? Like,
Oh, 1,000 times. Nobody's follow-up game is better than mine. Nobody. I will follow up. I follow up so much and so well because it doesn't. A lot of my follow-up calls, they don't sound like sales calls. It's a hey Darren, it's Sean. I don't know if you remember me. I put an offer in on 123 Main Street. Just checking in, seeing how you're doing. Anyway, have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. That's it. I didn't ask you for shit.
Right.
I'm just reminding them who I am and that I'm there, and hoping that I'm not calling too much to be annoying, because then they
Yes.
don't have one bad thought in their head about me every time they see my name pop up on their screen when I call them.
So how often do you follow up?
That depends on the situation. So if we're
Okay.
talking off market, if we're talking an off market VA cold caller lead, we follow up every single day. So if we called you first, so the lead comes in, one of my closers or me will call the lead, and let's say it's 10 o'clock in the morning. They don't answer. I leave a voicemail. I shoot them a text message. I shoot them an email if I've got their email address. Usually I don't. But if I do, I send them an email address. And then the very next day, I'm going to call them in the afternoon. And I'm going to shoot them another text message. And then the day after that, I'm going to call them in the evening. And then I'm going to start the process all over again for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, then I call them once a week. Then after 4 weeks, I call them once a month. Then after 3 months, I call them once every 6 months. And then after that, once every year. Until they tell me no or the number is disconnected. If it's on market and you're dealing with a real estate agent, I'm going to be a lot less aggressive because you guys have more leverage. You just don't realize it. The real estate agent is the one that's got the pressure on them because they've had a property that's been on market for X amount of months that hasn't sold yet. That's not a good look for a real estate agent. You're the one that has the solution to their problem. You just kind of have to wait them out. Unless it's a situation where a creative financing deal absolutely won't work, then move on, because then you're just wasting everybody's time. So my follow-up game with a real estate agent is going to be a lot more laid back and a lot less pushy. I'm not a pushy guy to begin with. So I will throw in little, my friend calls them jabs. They're not jabs. Hey man, I noticed that property's still listed. You want to shoot them my offer and see if they'll take it? We can finally get this thing sold. That's a jab. It's playful, it's accurate, it's factually true, but it's a jab. But it's a jab to like, hey man, I'm still here. Like, come on, let's do this.
Right.
It's a little
Totally
kick in the
honest.
pants. Yeah,
Mhm.
let's go.
Yep, for sure. I like that.
So that's what I would do. That's my opinion. I don't remember what the original question was because I went off on one of my tangents, but did you get an answer that you were looking for?
I think so.
I do remember this. Tell the guy, hey man, that's not how we do it. This is how we do it. Here's why we do it this way. Let me know if this works for you. If not, deuces. That's the point. Oh yeah, we're not order takers. That's where I was going with that. Okay, sorry, that was long-winded. Who else has got a question? Anybody? All right, then I'm gonna let you guys go for the night, for the afternoon, night. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock for the night. All right, so I will be in the Discord until like 9-10 o'clock this evening. If you guys have questions, I can respond. If you guys want to shoot me, anyone who needs the link to my YouTube channel, if you're new, it's in the video library link channel at the very bottom on the left. If you go to the Deal Sniper 101 or the Wholesaling 101 playlist, there's literally not one question you can ask that won't be answered in that playlist. A lot of the trainings are like this, so you got to listen for the nuggets, but I've been told that they're there. So you just got to go find them. Other than that, you guys have a great night. I will talk to you later.
Thank you, Sean.
No worries. See ya. See ya.